It's Richard Gladwell here for Sail World, here with Kevin Shoebridge. Kevin, what's your sort of role in the grand scheme of things from here on?
My role continues as sort of the operations of the place and the running of the team, and the combining of all the various departments to make sure that we have got all our efforts concentrated in the right place.
What is sort of really happening there in terms of, because we're just now on the sort of runway to lead into the America's Cup, and the intensity goes up, you've got a new boat going in the water and you've got another boat in bits. Yeah. How much sort of real effort's going in, and what are the priorities on that?
Well, you're right, there's a lot happening over the next couple of months. The priority is obviously Boat 2 and sailing for probably 8 or 9 weeks here in Auckland before we head to San Francisco. We've got another group that's now sort of split off and trying to organise the San Francisco situation. So we have people based up in San Francisco now, and that whole move, the move of 35, 40-foot containers of equipment from Auckland and setting up the base on Pier 32 is a big part of what we'll be doing over the next couple of months.
So what are you expecting as the downtime between packing up from here and, stopping sailing here and starting sailing in San Francisco?
We're going to stop sailing here around the 6th of April, and we hope to be sailing back in San Francisco sometime around the 23rd of May, so it's about a 6 or 7 week downtime. But in between that, remember, we've got an AC45 regatta, which is a couple of weeks that no one's sailing also.
What's happening with the Youth World Cup?
Youth World Cup's going well. We're supporting a Yachting New Zealand group. They've been out on our 45 over the last couple of weeks. We've been using our coaching guys, Rod and Joe Allen specifically, helping them out with all the crew manoeuvres. Had a couple of days on the water, and the guys it's a really good group led by Pete Burling, who's got a bit of experience in the class. So it was really nice to see a bunch of very talented young sailors come in and who were able to adapt to it very quickly.
Who else is in that group?
They're making an announcement in about 4 or 5 days, so I'll leave it up to them to say that.
What's the focus of that group in terms of the big picture with you guys?
Well, it's something happening off to the side. Like we're totally focused on the 72 and the operations of this team over the next 7 months. But that, for sure, is a nice way to get a look at guys for the future.
And what is the future? I mean, Grant sort of talked about this being the end if you don't win, but I mean, it's probably always been the case. And then looking at the Volvo situation, and what's the sort of the ongoing picture?
To be honest with you, we never really discuss or talk too much about the future. Just feel like it's the wrong thing to be doing when you're so consumed with what we're doing here. So, don't know. Obviously, if we didn't win, it would be very difficult to ramp up again what we've got here. But, let's wait and see what happens in September, I guess.
You've been around the America's Cup scene for a long time. What's the sort of logistics and everything like that with these AC72s compared to what you had with the IACC boats?
Well, they're huge, and just comparing it to the 07 campaign or going back to the 03 or the 2000 campaigns, they're a massive step up on that. And I think there's a lot more reliability on a lot more reliance on your shore team and your organisation. Although the sailing is obviously ultimately the most important thing, along with the design. But the team as a whole has risen up to a similar level. There's so many people that we rely on within the organisation to make sure the boat can sit here on any given day. It's quite unbelievable the amount of manpower that goes into it.
Because from the outside looking in, I mean, you look on the webcam at night and you see the lights burning in the shed, and you sort of get the impression that this team's sort of with this type of campaign, they're a lot more reliant on all the components of the team than maybe was the case before.
Yeah, that's dead right. I think the team that has the behind-the-scenes support, very good maintenance, reliability and shore crew capability will be a big part of winning this cup.
And how long has that shore crew been sort of working together now?
The basis of this shore crew group went back to 07, but it's obviously a lot bigger than it was in 07, and we've drafted in different expertise that's required. But they've got an amazing work ethic, and I think they're all very proud of what they've achieved here. A lot of ownership of this boat particularly.
What's the size of that team? I mean, we had talk of, needing 30 guys to get the boat in the water and all that sort of thing, but compared to what you had in '07, is the size of that shore team grown or shrunk, or what are the changes?
The size of the overall team is about the same. I think we've got about 107 people here. It's just that in '07 I think we had 34 sailors, and now we probably have 13, and all those extra spots have been filled by shore guys. So the shore team itself is a big group, probably 40 people, I would imagine.
What are their basic functions when the boat comes ashore? Do they have a game plan they work to in terms of strip down and debriefs? And
yeah, very much so. There's it starts off with the information coming off the boat during the day, so they can prepare for whatever's required if there's been any breakage or whatever. Boat comes out of the water every night, goes into a very strict check over and double check regime in all the different areas. Work lists are formulated, then the work's done to try and get out by the next sailing day if that's required. But that side of it, that whole maintenance and reliability side, is a very, very important portion of these boats. They're more fragile and harder to keep on the water than a version 5 monohull was.
So what's your approach to sort of spare parts for a boat like this? Because I mean there's 1,000 parts on the wing sail alone, so what are you doing? Are you going to take a whole swag of kit with you, or are you working on the fact if something breaks we'll have the capability there of doing a very quick fix? And
well, there's a bit of both really, but our biggest backup is having the second boat. So and the boats are quite similar, so a lot of the parts are transferable from one boat to the other, so that's the main thing. But you do have to have a certain amount of materials, especially for wings, on standby that you can do repairs overnight.
Okay. And what's the sort of main challenge you guys have got coming up in the next 2 months?
I think the main challenge for us is to get this boat in a race-ready condition for when we leave Auckland. It'd be nice to arrive in San Francisco in a full race mode and get out in the course and worry about the things that are important, and a nice transition really from the Auckland base to the San Francisco base.